Alright, back again, Luke here. And today what I want to do is show you guys a little bit of an update as to what I've done with that Biohazard gun controller here. As you can see, I've put in a couple of shims on the side, and what this is just to prevent it from going past the point where it'll derail or it'll kind of throw the potentiometer off. So this will actually stop it. So once it goes here, it stops, and then once it goes on the other side, it stops there. One interesting thing, I actually wound up getting a message here from a YouTuber on my last video where I'd put this thing up and I had kind of shown a little bit of what I had done with it as far as the pulley system that I had in the bottom of it. And he had made a really good suggestion. He said, well, maybe you should try using a gear and maybe like a track or something. And I thought, well, I didn't even think about that. That's actually a really good idea. So today I decided to pull this thing apart again and kind of revamp the design just a little bit. Went through my RC car parts, and as you can see here, what I've done is I've switched out the potentiometer. It's got a new pot there. On the inside here, I have two bearings that are kind of spaced out. There's a space here at the top, and there's another spacer at the bottom. But I have two bearings. I also have a gear that is from an RC car, and that gear is it's for the rear end of an RC car, and so is the belt here. And what I did is, it took me a little bit of thinking here to try and get this all set up, but I was trying to think of more like along the lines of car repair and how car belt pulleys work, and then I tried to apply that to this to an extent. Obviously the belt is not continuously turning, but I needed to have it to where the gear would turn and the belt would stay stationary. So what I did is I clamped the belt on both sides here, and I spaced it out just a little bit on this end and a little bit on this end. You'll notice it's on a bit of an angle here, and that's to try and keep the tension if this thing moves back and forth or up and down. That was another thing that I was kind of worried about, is since this thing is kind of home built and there isn't the exact same space between the curtain rail and the bearing, there is a little bit of play. So it's in order to kind of make up for that play, having this belt in here that has just a little bit of slack on it, I mean really just a little bit, but it has a lot of flexibility. That will make up for any kind of difference between the base here on the sides and the potentiometer or the pot here. So as we can see, what I've got here is maybe you can't see it with the light the way it is, but the pot, you can probably see it turn like this, and then it hits the wall over there, and then if we go over this way, you can see it turn that way. So this will give me full rotation left and right while keeping good tension on the belt, and the belt is sliding on the bearings so it's not getting hung up. And yeah, it's working out really well with this one. The main reason why I changed out the pot too is because the end of this the gear that I had to use, it's got a grub screw in it that holds it in place. I needed something where the shaft was just a little bit thinner in order to get through here on the inside, and I couldn't find one with the other ones I had. They were just kind of filed down. This one was one of the original ones that was on the the guns for the Beast Busters, and I had taken the cap off the bottom here just to see what condition it was in, and it's actually in really good condition. So I figured, okay, we'll just slap that back together and we'll use this one, and it seemed to work out really well. So the only thing I have to do now is I have to go through the I/O test menu. I have to recalibrate everything, and once everything's recalibrated, then we can do some gameplay on it. But just figured I'd share this with you guys here, let you take a look at the way it is right now. And what I'll do is I'll actually put up another video. I'll splice one into this so you guys can see how well this works compared to the last one. As you can see, the last one was a little bit slow. This one, I'm guessing, should be really smooth. I mean, that works out really nicely. And yeah, it's getting a full rotation there on each side, and it's good. It's working out real nice. So what I'm going to do is hook this thing up. I'll go through the settings and get everything calibrated, then I'll turn it on and we'll give it a go. So I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so I just wound up recalibrating everything here, and figured I'd show you guys what this thing does or how it works. Let's try and start this up. Let's see. There's our fire. Left, back, forward, and strafing side to side. That's much, much faster. Much better. Let's say, whoa. Yeah, that strafing works much nicer now. There's left strafe, right strafe, forward, backwards, left, and right. So, everything's working out here really well, and it's going to be about that time to do some gameplay here in just a bit. Just need to get everything all situated here, do a little bit of practice with this thing, because this is a tricky setup. It's not exactly the easiest setup to get used to. Just because there are so many different pots on this, and so many different directions you can go, and you have to go. So, yeah, it's going to take a little while. I'll do maybe a little bit of a practice go on it, maybe just in the first stage only, and then once we get done with that, then we'll do some gameplay. But as you can see here, here's right and left, working much nicer. So that gear idea was really good, and the pulley idea as well kind of went together hand in hand, and that will do the trick for the setup as for right now. So I'm gonna get everything all situated here, give it a little bit of a test run, and then once we get done with that, we'll put up some gameplay. But that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. Whee!